Alright, so this video is not going to go into depth about anything about how to get to the secret menu or the secret monitor menu to change those settings. You can research that stuff by just looking it up on a Google search and find exactly how to get there. This is going to show you the graphical differences and everything. Right now I'm in the normal setting of the game, the normal 480i. We haven't changed anything, the normal everything. So that Battle of New York, that's the one I want. And I'm trying to show a difference in the graphical. So this is with no opening the secret monitor menu and changing anything. Oh, by the way, I have noticed that the secret monitor menu does save, unlike the regular screen settings and options. It does save on the secret monitor menu, so you don't have to go in there and readjust it. And I will be posting footage of that later, of my fine-tuned settings I found that work. So here is New York, which is one of the most graphical hard tracks in the game. I'm going to try and do this just so you can see it for a little bit. I ain't driving the best. I'm not really focused on driving. I'm focused on trying to get a good video, but so you can get an idea of what it looks like. Now, another thing I want to do, I don't know if I can get close to this car right now. The settings in the secret menus, the secret monitor menu, when you change them, especially like the zoom settings and stuff, it changes the physical, like not just the optical zoom or whatever. It changes the physical limitations, I guess you would call it, of your vehicle. So like you go too extreme with the settings, you find that you're hitting the car in front of you and you're not even close to them yet, or you're hitting the wall beside you and you're not even close to it yet. So it's a balancing act when fine-tuning this to get a non-blurry, which this image is pretty blurry right now, but we're in 480i right now, but a non-blurry image and a image that is also, still clear and not because you get it too sharp and way up the track, like where that car is way up there, is becomes really pixelated. When it's not blurry, it goes from blurry to pixelated. So it's a fine balancing act between having it not pixelated way up the track and clear, and not blurry, and still driving like the original game does, because some of those settings in that secret monitor menu do affect, like I said, the spatial, I guess you would call it, maybe that's what we'll go with, the spatial awareness of the car, or spatial limitations of the car. I really wanted to reach this car so you can see what I mean. So for like the next video, you can see the difference or whatever when I hit the car, of how close I am to it. I was also going to scrub a wall, but I mean, Jesus, holding the phone and everything and trying to film and race at the same time, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to catch him. And I only picked this one because I know this is one of the graphical, or whatever you call it, whatever word you want to use there, more demanding graphics wise, courses. So like an easier course may not be as noticeable, like everything's as blurry or as pixelated in the distance. All right, now I'm getting close to them. Good. To race almost a damn whole race just to show you the impact distance, which, but right now, like I said, this is all normal. This is just turning the game on and playing it. This is not adjusting any settings yet, but I'm gonna show you all the difference. And when I go to do the, since I'm not changing any of the special monitor settings just yet, I'm just gonna quickly show you all the difference in without touching the secret monitor settings. Just show you all the difference between the normal, which is 480i, and then the extra screen settings that are in the normal options menu, which is 480p and then 1080i, and show you all the difference between those. This is a old HD TV. It is a flat screen. It is and everything. It's not like a CRT or nothing. So I mean, that's the whole purpose of this. If you had a CRT, you really wouldn't have these kind of problems. But it is an old HD TV. Okay, so there's the car. Now let's try and bump it so y'all can have a reference for later. Okay, so actually, yeah, I did better than I thought. This is my first time playing in the basic settings since I got done tuning after the secret menu. And I did pretty good at getting the distance when you actually contact the car right. You'll see later, it's about the same. And the wall, yeah, that's about the same too. Okay, because like I said, I was playing with the settings and it got way off, and it was kind of ridiculous, like not even close to a car and you're hitting it, All right, so this is a old HD TV. It does 1080p, it does 1080i, and since it's an old one, it does detect like 480i and 480p. You'll see it up in the top corner screen sometimes when it shows a change when it shows me change the resolution and stuff. You'll see it change. The TV lets me know. But so it does a good job since it's an old one, not like a 4K or something. But still, it's not as good as a CRT. But when you're in a rig, what I'm saying, you don't want to, you know what I mean. You don't want to have my 3,000 pound CRT TV. Okay, you know what I'm saying. And this is bigger. So let's go ahead and change to 480p. Yes, I can see the image. You see it told me it's 480p, 60 hertz. Then it went back to 480i because all you're changing here. And same thing with the monitor settings, the secret monitor settings. They, just like these screen settings, they only affect in race. So now that I'm going back to a race, it went back to 480p, 60 hertz from 480i. But it only affects in race graphics, not. But like I said, the monitor settings affect more than just the graphics. Like you can screw them up and not even see what you're doing. It looks ridiculous. It looks comical. I was laughing my ass off earlier. It looked like tunnel vision. I had the whole track like narrowed down. It was unbelievably like I couldn't even tell what I was doing. It just looked like flashes of light flying past me kind of thing. It was ridiculous. But yeah, so you can screw it all up, but I've sat here and figured it out and fine-tuned it, which I'll get to. Like I said, I'm just going over the basics for a comparison. And don't forget to try and look up the track. That's where you'll see a lot of differences too. And I will say 480p without changing anything, just 480p, and I've tweaked a little bit of settings on the TV on all these, by the way. The TV just saves my settings though. It doesn't look bad if you just. Oh, and one big important thing, which anyone watching this video should probably already have or already know, your PlayStation 2 should be hooked to your TV with component cables. I'm talking about the 5 cables, not the 3. The 3 cables for video and then 2 for audio, not 1 for video and 2 for audio. The component cables. And then in settings set to, what is it, YPBBR or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean. Yeah, so there is New York in 480p. Yeah. All right, which again doesn't look bad, but way up in the distance, and I don't know if you can see it here, but you'll see it on your own system on a HD TV. It's too pixelated. You can't really see way in the distance what's going on and prepare for it. But here we go. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna go. I'm gonna change it to 1080i. An interlaced image is the big problem. That's what the I stands for. The 480i, the 1080i. It's an interlaced image. They're fine on a CRT TV, which scans back and forth the image onto the display. But that's why 480p, if you're not going to do anything else, looks better on a slightly modern, old HD TV like this. But this 480i image, you'll probably notice, looks pretty blurry. But the stuff in the distance isn't as pixelated, even though it's blurry. Like I said, it's a balancing act between blurry and pixelation and, spatial awareness of the game, effectively. But like I said, the last part's where the whole monitor menu comes in. Okay, now we're at 1080i. You can probably already notice the blurriness, but I can see, I don't know if you can see, in the distance, that little car is nowhere near pixelated. I can tell it's a car. It's a blurry car, but it's not a pixelated monstrosity. Okay. Ooh, don't spin it. Alright. I ain't gonna drive too much of this one. I'll just drive up to this skyscraper and take a turn. I mean, y'all have already seen enough of this track to be able to tell the difference by now, I'm sure. Okay. I mean, I could get to the car and show you the difference of the graphics of the car, of the light reflecting, but there ain't much difference there. 480p and 1080i, and I mean, yeah, the 480i looks a little worse than all of them, but between the 1080i and the 480p, the light reflections of the car and stuff looks about the same. There's not that much difference. There's not too much blurriness up close with a 1080i. I mean, 1080i takes care of a lot of the pixel problems in the distance, but the blurriness kills you. But then this is the best case scenario because I fine-tuned this TV, like sharpness settings and contrast, and spent the time to really fine-tune. That's going to vary from TV to TV. But okay, now the meat and potatoes of the dang thing. Let's go ahead and switch over to my other memory card, which is set up back to 480i because the menus are in 480i, which is set up with the secret menu enabled. The secret monitor menu, which you have to input effectively a cheat code in to activate. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, do some Google searches. It was discovered in 2020. Oh, I need to turn this damn thing off first. There. And it is crazy that we're still discovering cheats and secrets about this game. But, alright, there we go. That should work. One thing to note, of course, which you find this out when you Google it, the secret menu, you have to have a controller plugged into the number 2 port to activate it. You can't activate it with the controller you're playing with in the number 1 port. You can unplug the controller you're playing with in the number 1 port, plug it into the number 2 port, and do it that way, but that's a different, just saying. Okay. While that loads, let that load for a sec. Alright, now then, I'm using the controls on my racing wheel, which I have plugged in, so I don't have to unplug and switch the controller to port 2. I just leave it plugged in port 2 so I can change settings and stuff in the monitor menu, because you have to be plugged into port 2. But the steering wheel has all the controls, so I need to navigate menus without going to the monitor menu. Again, it is a real thing. It sounds like some crazy talk, but look it up. It is a real thing. Oh, by the way, the $10 million cheat code, it does work. And no, you don't have to have zero, game progression. You just have to be past 365 days. It works. Okay, so this one I have enabled the monitor menu, and you have to enable it every single time you go into the option settings, but I have enabled it. It does work. And the settings you set in there do save. Okay, back to New York. So this is with fine-tuned, and I will show you all those settings in a little bit after I go through the differences, because depending on TV, one setting may be better for you than another, and depending on personal preference, because I go back and forth between 480p and the 1080i on a lot of things. Like if they had a 1080p setting for this game, well then that's a done deal. That's what I'd be on, but it doesn't. It has, but that's the big thing. But okay, this is the original with the fine-tuned monitor settings. So this is a 480i with the fine-tuned monitor settings. I mean, it's not bad, but oh dang it, I didn't switch this to automatic. I didn't want to have to. I'm gonna go do that. I didn't want to have to try and shift while videoing and stuff, so I was going to set it to automatic before I forgot to do it. Yeah. And by the way, when you enable the secret monitor menu, it shows up way down here, over here in this area. There'll be secret and monitor would be what you want when you enable. I could show y'all, but sake of time, I'm not going to. I exited the damn menu. Y'all can look it up and see what I'm talking about, and just enter the code, and it works. It's not hard, really not hard. If you can't figure it out, then I don't know. Oh, your controller has to be plugged into port 2, like I said. Don't forget that. Okay, so we want automatic. So that way I don't have to shift right now. All right, and we're gonna go see the collision. Of it. We're gonna do that in the first video. So I'm gonna catch the car and collide with him, so you can get the collision detection. I'll scrape a wall, so you can get, you know what I'm saying, the idea. Again, I mean, again, this is 480i setting. This is the, not the great setting, but it's the fine-tuned monitor secret monitor settings where you can fine-tune. I mean, you can fine-tune. Again, you go in there, you'll see what I mean. You can fine-tune a lot of stuff. Like, I call it future-proofing for this game. It's like the programmers future-proofed this game by allowing you to custom tune those settings, because it affects everything. Like I said, like how the cars collide with one another, even, it's I could go in settings and show you what I mean, but I'm already going to be making a long enough video as it is, especially for my phone. Ain't like I got a proper camera, but just wanted it to be out there because no one's got a comparison yet, since this was just discovered. I know, 5-second penalty because I'm not driving well. I just want to collide with a car, man. Let me catch him. See how everything's blurry, though. I mean, it's 480i. I mean, I don't know if you can tell or not. I don't know. It's hard for me to tell right now if it looks better or not in this version versus what I was in. Because 480i on a HD TV just doesn't look great. in general, you know. So even fine-tuned monitor settings don't look great. I fine-tuned all the monitor settings while flipping back and forth between 480p and 1080i. But you know, the way the settings are in the monitor settings, it's kind of a universal thing. You don't have to worry about being in 480p or 1080i or 480i. It's those settings don't. I don't know how to describe it, but once you get them right, the picture is definitely better. It's like fits the TV better. Definitely, it's like you see less blurriness and artifacts and everything. Now you get it wrong, and I mean just a little wrong by 1 or 2 points, and you could get a blurry image in like 1080i that's worse than the 480i. It's, you know, but it's just a fine-tuning thing. And I don't know if I'm going to catch this guy or not. Jesus. You know, when you try and hold a phone and drive at the same time, it doesn't go very well. So blurry. You know, screw it. I'll try and catch him when the image is clearer. It'll be easier. All right. So now then, remember, like I said, I don't need to go in and adjust the monitor settings, the secret monitor settings, because it saves those. Those are fixed. I'll go ahead and show y'all them when I get done with a comparison for y'all to be able to make y'all's own settings. But I'm switching through the resolutions while the monitor settings are set the same. The secret monitor settings menu. 480p, 60 hertz. Okay. Go. It's not that blurry, I swear. That's screen blur. Oh, what did I do? Did I go back in the menus? That screen blur was glare from my phone. It does not look like that in real life. All right. This is the 480p with the secret monitor settings menu fine-tuned. I took my time and figured out how all the settings work and what looks best on an old HD TV. At 480p right now. And no, the TV isn't upscaling it. It's showing 480p. This is an old HD TV that can do the old signals and stuff. With component video cables. That's a big thing. None of that, you know, yellow, red, and white 3-cable bullcrap. The 5 cables. Alright, I may catch him this time. Since it's clearer, I can more attack the corners and see what the hell I'm doing. And like I said, since this is the profile, I have adjusted the secret monitor settings. that does affect the collision. It does affect the distance of collision and stuff. So we will see a difference. But like I said earlier, I got it as good as I could, and apparently I got it pretty good because it looked the same as earlier. Okay, here I'm gonna bump them like I did earlier, and it looks about the same. Not too far away, about the same. And I'm going to scrape a wall. Show the distance on this. Doesn't look too bad. Okay, now I'm going to... You can see it. And I've noticed, like, if you're drifting and the back slides out... Oh, I'm not getting the back slide out. But I'm not in manual mode or anything right now. But if the back slides out, the back is a little... not quite touching the wall. So if you're like going to drift with these secret monitor settings dialed in, and you like go to drift tap the wall or something, okay, get out there. Oh, I still missed it. And like go to drift tap the wall or something, it's gonna contact the wall a little bit before the body of the car actually looks like it's contacting the wall. But it's not that bad in racing aspects. But let's see if I can get it sideways. No. It didn't work. Oh well. Just trust me, it does. You'll see. Especially if you find, but like I said, after trial and error a lot, these are the best, with all things considered, settings I could find for the monitor settings. And then we'll go to 1080i. And I don't like to run 1080i. I think this game looks way better in 480p until I found the secret monitor settings. And after fine-tuning them, man, does this thing work in 1080i. I also had to tweak the settings of the TV, yes, but it's a battle. There's good and bad for both of them. 1080i is a little blurry in some spots versus the 480p, but the 480p is a little pixelated in some spots versus 1080i. The 480p's got a little bit more shine in some areas. 1080i has a little bit more smoothness, not pixelated like lines in the road and things. I don't know. I think I'm gonna stick with 1080i though, it's because before the secret monitor settings, I'd say 480p. But after the secret monitor settings, I think 1080i works pretty good. This is 1080i with the secret monitor settings fine-tuned. Of course, like I said, no upscalers or nothing. Old HD TV, not CRT. Old HD flat screen TV. I think it's, what is it? LCD, I think is what I'm running. Yeah, LCD. HD TV. Yeah. And you could probably, I can see that in my cell phone. I'm looking on my cell phone right now. I'm racing. I didn't see that earlier. I can see the car in the distance on my cell phone. So yeah, that's definitely a clearer image. And of course, you got to fine tune this stuff. And even after you put the secret monitor settings in that I'm going to show you here in a second and everything, and run it in 1080i and all that stuff, you'll find that you could probably tweak your contrast by a couple points and your brightness by a couple points on your TV, and your sharpness. Sharpness is the big one. If it's looking a little too pixelated in the distance, you lower it. If it's looking a little too blurry in the distance, or the numbers for your times are a little too blurry, you sharpen it a little bit. But I mean, it's a really fine thing. I mean, I found a big difference in like 1 or 2 points. Like a lot of my settings are almost the normal settings, just added 1 or subtracted 1 here or there on different settings and made it look a lot better. I do have a proper upscaler on the way that I ordered. That really awesome one was OSSC or whatever. It's supposed to be one of the best PlayStation 2 converters. But I don't know. I have a cheaper one, and I totally bonged that corner, didn't I? And the cheaper one doesn't do good at all. It's supposed to upscale it from the 480i that comes out of the PlayStation to a 720p. And it just looks like hot garbage compared to what I have here. This looks good. And yeah. And the little cheap upscaler I have looks like hot garbage. I don't even like using it. It works good for like the 4K TV in the living room. It's still a little fuzzy, but it works good. I mean, because I can't do component cables in the living room. But now that I've got this set up with my racing wheel in the game room, there's no point in it because it looks like crap on this old one. And even though it only upscales to 1080p, or no, I mean 720p. It doesn't upscale to 4K or nothing. But I was going to try and catch this car, but I don't know if I'm going to catch him. Alright, screw that. Alright, I want to show y'all one more thing. I was going to do every single video. I mean, every single resolution or whatever. You know, all the resolutions with the secret monitor menu not activated and not fine-tuned. And then all the resolutions with them fine-tuned on 2 different tracks with 2 different cars. I was going to do this, the New York driving missions car. And I was going to do the SEAL 80 on Scuba. Or to Scuba, whatever. But I just ran with it. But now that I'm at what I think is the best looking, I'm going to show y'all what I mean. Because this isn't as visually demanding as New York is. But man, does it look good after you get everything looking good. When it's not as visually demanding, you got so much shit going on, so much shit that you can find the faults and the details. You just got a simple, nice track, nice car, and other cars after it's been fine-tuned. Whoa, spun it. I'm trying to look through my phone to race so that way I can get good video and, you know, yeah. Yeah, because all those settings in the secret monitor menu setting options do change your field of view also. You can have it screwed up and not even see around a corner. Just barely see what's in front of you. Which, by the way, I'll show you in a second. I'm gonna zoom out and view the car. It may look a little different. I don't know. It may look close because I've gotten it pretty close. I feel like the normal settings had the car further away though, but I don't know. All right, where's some cars? There's a car. Come here, you. Let me ram you. I normally drive in manual, but like I said, I'm down to one arm right now. Yeah. So. Maybe I'll try and use some nitrous with my one hand on this next stretch so I can ram someone. Give you all an better idea of graphics. I don't know. There we go. Is that nitrous? No, that's not the right button. There we go. I'm not going to catch him. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, damn it. Ugh. All right. It's past me. There. I'll ram you then. I would miss. Ooh. I do not like this car in automatic. In manual, I downshift and it kicks out a little bit just right, the way I have it tuned. In automatic, it's a little unpredictable. Come on. Would not have had to slow down that much if I was downshifting myself. Yeah. It's like it has less grip. Okay, whatever. Alright, here's someone else. Come on, pass me. Please. I just want to get an idea of collision. Ah, yes. Yes, come on. There we go. I think I'm going to hit the Viper. I missed him. Whatever. You'll get the idea. Here's your idea of collision. There you go. Whatever. I ain't gonna hit a car, apparently. Let me see if I can get it slide out, show you what I was talking about with the tail end of the car. Probably not. Damn. I'm just not getting any good footage, am I? I don't know if you saw it there. The back bumper really wasn't quite contacting the wall. It was a little ways off. Like, I mean, maybe a foot, but I've noticed it some when I've like taken this car and tried to really slide it around turns. I've noticed it. But like I said, it's a balancing act. And I think this is the best settings I've been able to get. Come on. Like, I'm scrubbing the wall, you know? And it's not quite touching the wall, you know? But okay. All right. Now then. Ow, my arm. All right. Holding it up, trying to hold this phone forever. All right, here's what y'all been waiting for. The settings for the secret monitor menu that I find to be the best. And trust me, you can really screw stuff up if you go, like when you open this menu, just start trying to take things to the extreme and see what I'm talking about. It looks crazy. But the secret monitor menu settings only affect in-game, like in-race settings. They don't affect, so in your normal menus, it'll look fine. As soon as you start a race, then everything will look crazy. So just letting you know. But okay, so L1 up, L2 down, R1 left, R2 right. Start. There it goes. Right, monitor. All right, there you go. That's the fine-tuned settings that I've spent, I don't even know how long, setting. The distance may vary depending on if you're like sitting across the living room or you got TV net in front of you. But the distance is weird because it starts off like way down there, like 200. And it's supposed to be set distance from the viewpoint to the monitor in millimeters. Use a tape measure measured from my damn head to the monitor, and you know, got about 800 millimeters. So if you're sitting across the living room, you know, I don't know, that is 1200 enough. But it starts off the normal setting of way low, like close to 200, and then the width and the TV, the width and the height There's no good settings for this. This game was meant for like a CRT TV, but this is what I found to work the best is put it at max at 600 for the width and lowest at 200 for the height, and then fix the image by adjusting the zoom to 0.3 and then the aspect to 0.53, and I just exited. But y'all saw it. You can rewind it if you need to see it again. And then, of course, like I said, my favorite settings right now is the 1080i. Of course, aspect ratio at 16.9. But 1080i is my favorite settings right now. But 480p ain't bad. It's like right there with it. And depending on preference, you might like it more. I mean, like I said, I go back and forth. So that's that. And that is my rundown of the new secret monitor settings on Gran Turismo 4.